years ahead of the 2022 general elections, the ghosts of tribal politics, violence and deaths have begun hovering across the nation. On the 4th of October, the Deputy President William Ruto took his Sunday service caravan to Mount Kenya region, Kennel Town in Murang'a County for a fundraiser. However, immediately the Holy Spirit had finished hovering around the church, the angel of death smiled upon the people of Murang'a. Question is, have we begun politics too early? And is this politics sowing the seeds of division and violence in the country? Hello there and welcome to this episode of Metropole Debrief. My name is Ndero Oganga. For 15-year-old Peter Mbotho, this was to be another ordinary Sunday. However, on this day, senseless violence between two rival political groups, Tanga Tanga affiliated to Deputy President Dr. William Ruto, and Keleweke, the faction that supports President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Premier Raila Odinga, brought his life to an abrupt end. A family of 3 siblings, now a family of 2, called by the police from Thika Level 5 Hospital to sign a transfer letter of their son to Kenyatta National Hospital, where he was pronounced dead.
Toka sahi tunaongea na sina brother mwingine. Na unaona wazazi wangu saizi ni wazazi sikojei mwingine. Sasa ndio tulikuwa nategemea.
Another casualty from the violence is Christopher Kariuki, a 21-year-old and father of 1. Christopher met his death at Kabati after being intercepted by a mob on his way home from cleaning a venue that was to be used by the deputy president. His body left at the scene only to be collected later by the police and taken to Kenneth Matiba Hospital.
Tulipigiwa simu na hospitali tukaambiwa Christopher amepelekwa huko hosi akiwa in a critical condition, alikuwa ameumia sana. Tukaambiwa tuende ndio tupige signature apelekwe Kenyatta Theater. Sasa tukiwa kwa barabara walikuwa shindwa kutuuliza tumefika wapi. Kufika ndio walituambia Christopher ameaga dunia. Tukamuuliza nini alifanya, wakatuambia alidungwa visu 2 kutoka na nyuma.
In true political style, downplaying the magnitude of the violence and trying to absolve themselves of any blame, the deputy president, together with his caravan of politicians, challenged those perpetuating the violence to use their families instead and stop exploiting the youth.
Kama wewe ni kiongozi na wewe unataka kufanya fujo, tafuta bibi yako, tafuta bwana yako, tafuta mtoto wako, peleka kwa fujo. Waachana na mahasla hawa wanajitafutia.
However, through its social media handles, the National Police says the Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutyambai has ordered the arrest of Honorable Ndindi Nyoro and Alice Wahome for mobilizing goons that caused chaos at Kennel. While the police conduct their investigations, 2 families continue to mourn the loss of their loved ones. Will the political impunity carry on from now to 2022, or something will be done to stop the political caravan of division and violence before it advances to a place of no return? Well, before it advances to a place of no return, let's take stock of how we got here. Despite the country still fighting the COVID-19 pandemic and the world facing a real risk of second waves of infections as we've seen in Europe, political tunes are already being belted out in the country to rallies packed to capacity. Let's begin in Kisii. The deputy president was there last September, that's last month, for a fundraiser. Deputy President William Ruto flew to Kisii town Thursday, the 10th of September, despite chaos and running battles between the police and 2 rival group youths who clashed ahead of his arrival. You can already see the pattern of violence 2 years earlier. Now, he was received by Deputy Governor Josh Maangi and a host of other MPs before he addressed residents on his way to Nyamarambe, the venue of his main meeting. However, earlier, police fired in the air and lobbed tear gas to disperse the 2 groups, one allied to the DP and the other supporting the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM party leader Raila Odinga. Now, in his leadership style, the DP, in a venue packed to capacity, dared his opponents to take a swing at him, saying he stood for the people and with the people. Listening.
Wale wanasiasa wanataka kushindana, wawachane na police, wawachane na provincial administration, wakuje kiwanja, wakutane na mimi. Acheni kuuzia Wakenya uoga. Kama mko na agenda, kama muko na plan, kama muko na program, uzia wa Kenya, wacha kuuzia watu uoga. Na hapa mbele wale wanatudharau ya kwamba hawa mahasla hawafai, mimi nawaambia wajipange. Hii serikali ya 2022 itaundwa na hawa watu wa mama mboga na bodaboda na makanga na wale watu wa kuuza kiosk. Tutaunda serikali 2022.
When you want to just think that the DP is the only complicated politician in the country, all of them are. Now listen to this. On this very day, 2 weeks after the deputy president had toured the coastal region, ODM party leader Raila Odinga was in Taita seeking to drum up support for the Building Bridges initiative and reaffirm his political grip of the coastal region. Odinga calling on Kenyans to rally their support in favor of the BBI, saying the document will be the answer to the cancer of ethnicity in the country. However, same script, different narrative. Meetings and rallies conducted with sheer disregard to COVID-19 protocols and rules. Listening.
Nasikia watu wengine sasa wanapiga ile ngoma ya vita. Hatutaki vita. Tunataka amani katika taifa letu. Unakwenda kulaumu mama ambaye hana hatia. Mama anaweza kuwa nyanya yako. Wewe unatoka kule unaongea kama mtu ambaye sio ni wazimu. Na wewe ni mtu unachagana yeye ni honorable member of parliament. Hiyo iko kini honorable. If a honorable member behaves dishonorable, it is horrible.
Well, what's so honorable about park rallies with people with no masks? But just when you thought that politicians could not stoop any lower, the president takes the baton home. While inspecting a road project in Rwaka, attracting a mammoth crowd, used the opportunity to swing jabs back at Emurua Dikir Member of Parliament Johana Ngeno for the insults he hurled at his mother. Now, despite the fact that the matter is in court, speaking in his local dialect, the president says, let him go and abuse his mother. Listen in. Well, that is you, your friend, your relatives, or somebody you know cheering on the president stooping so low. Now, the three leaders going against logic, wisdom, and reason, using different avenues, be it BBI of the coastal region, Sunday service by the deputy president, and even inspection of national projects like we've seen the president do to drum up support for themselves, setting the stage for their own political advancements and ambitions, some 2022, some trying to safeguard themselves beyond 2022. Question is, this time round, at what cost? Have we begun sowing the seeds of hate and division this early? Will we do better, or are we falling for the same trap for the up-till time, 2007, 2017? We've seen it up front. After the break, we tell you why we cannot go back there. See you shortly.